Hello, ladies. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the No Banger Sports Card Podcast. This is episode 31.
This is the kind of connection you get if you stay an extra week hanging out, Rod, instead of going home. Me and Tim are on the same wavelength. We were about to sing different selections from the Top Gun soundtrack.
Or listening nothing. How about that?
Yeah.
No,
Take me to the
danger zone.
And then we
Glad
also
you guys
had,
spent an extra week to be in sync with each other. Perfect.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm
joined by the
illustrious
illustrious co-host, Mr. Rod from Picking and Punching Cards, and Cary from American Arbitrage Cards. And I'm Tim from Over the Years Sports. And this is the No Banger Sports Card Podcast, where we are going to collectively poop on everybody in the hobby.
Get ready, guys. Get ready. Get the TP out.
No, we're not going to do that.
Get the TP out.
But this is weird. I mean, we're filming.
It's a poop party.
No, this is weird. For those who don't know, we've actually been away for the last 2 weeks. This is the first episode we filmed because we did back-to-back episodes because we were at the National. And then you guys went picking on the 127 highway sale. Unfortunately, I could not make it.
Lincoln Highway.
Lincoln Highway.
No, the 127.
No. Yes, 127. Tell everybody.
Oh, yes.
127.
Not the secret highway sale we went to.
Yeah, we were in Crossville, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Crossville. Center of Tennessee. Right?
This is one of the brains of the operation around here, guys. All right? Like, come on. Don't give away all the secrets. No.
Definitely don't want anybody coming to that because we did amaze balls.
That's awesome. For those who don't know, all three of us are professional pickers, and that's what we do other than cards. So cards and picking is our jam, right?
Yeah, sure.
Pretty much.
Whatever you say, buddy.
Whatever you say. Well, today's going to be different, though. We're actually going to jump right into our topic today, which is going to throw everyone off. You know what I mean?
Are we?
Yeah.
Are we? Right?
We're going to BS a little
bit. Are we
bit,
filming two episodes today or one?
No, just one.
Okay, just don't forget about the things I said I want to talk about because I want to talk about those.
And don't forget about the things I said I want to talk about.
Well, then you can bring up the thing you want to talk about. Because I forget what
I want you to bring it up.
About.
I would like you to bring it up.
You, Rod. You're supposed to have like a timeline and everything.
Listen,
man.
You're the host.
Listen, I have a lot going on this week.
I have a lot of important things. I hope we don't miss them.
Yes, we have. Yes, but anyway, all right. So, how was your week, man? You're finally back. Do you guys get in the back of groove of things?
No, I've been back for 2 days, and I have a 5-month-old boy who's. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and fed the baby, and so nothing. There's no break, no recovery period. I did organize all the cards from National, though, except, I lied. I did not organize all of them. I got all the baseball stuff organized and put into their team slots, and at the same time I did that, I organized them by players, too. So now all of my baseball cards are currently organized by team and by players.
That seems like a lot of work, man. How long did it take you to do that?
About 2 hours. I bought like close to 1,000 cards at National.
Okay.
I didn't spend $2.1 million like Sports Card Investor did.
Yeah. I spent I think I was technically under my budget. Like I had about $2,200 that I was going to spend, and I think I spent just a little over $2,000. And some of that's just on cards. I spent some on boxes and stuff that weren't part of my card budget. But
I opened up
I could spend I did good. I felt happy. That was plenty of spending.
The Maryland On It box that we got. Shout out.
Did you?
Yeah.
If you guys are watching it, On It. Make sure you guys, we're going to have a conversation with you guys soon. So I hit the case hit in my blaster box.
Did you really?
Nice.
Yeah, so they're the like city limits cards, which kind of look like
they're downtown.
Yeah.
Here, show it. I'll make it big. Show it.
A numbered one is considered a case hit.
There we go.
Ty
really
Felton, numbered to 10.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and I hit.
I opened all those silver packs that we got with our purchase and stuff, and dude, those were fun. I got Rocco Becht. I got Aiden Childs. I got a bunch of cool autos out of those.
I just forgot that I got those. I didn't open those yet because I was
playing on
because I was editing all my video stuff, and then this weekend I was going to go through and open up my boxes and stuff and did do it, but I just totally forgot.
I still got 3 boxes of On It. So
Don't you have you got
100 plus autos?
Yeah, I got a Florida State one. Yeah, that's actually the first one I'm going to open up, the Florida State one, and then we each got those boxes that had like it was like 14 teams or the Georgia one.
I bought 80 Georgia autos in it.
Yeah, I'm pumped for you to open that. I want to see what's in there.
I think there's going to be 80 Georgia football player autos, and it's my guess.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm
pumped to see.
Spoiler alert, guys! No one needs to watch your video content anymore now.
I don't know. I don't know if they're like all. I don't know if they're even numbered or how they work. I don't know if like you can get one of ones or anything out of it. But I know in the checklist, it's everybody but basically Carson Beck. So we're looking at Jalen Walker, Malachi Starks. I was thinking of Felipe Sparks there for a second, if you remember.
Ooh, St. John's
His daughter was
University
on American Idol.
Was he?
Sparks.
Was she?
Huh. Yeah, Jordan Sparks, no air.
Oh yeah,
wait, Felipe Sparks, didn't he play for St. John's University? Or is that Felipe Lopez?
Dude, that's Felipe Lopez, dude. The Vancouver Grizzlies, great. Speaking of early 1990 or like late 1990s Vancouver Grizzlies, Blue Edwards, your turn.
Brian Reeves.
Dude, Bryant Big Country Reeves, which is a great choice. I like Tony Massenberg. How about you, Rod? I'm sure you got one lined up.
Sharif Abdul-Rahim.
Oh yeah, Raheem. That's probably the only one I know from the Grizzlies from like from that time period. It was going to be him. So, yeah, wasn't a big basketball guy back then.
Here's the thing: like if you're thinking of like obscure '90s basketball players that played for a team, just say Tony Massenberg. You have like a 50-50 chance he was on your team in the '90s.
You think the Jamie Moyer of
yeah,
basketball?
he is.
I don't know if you guys heard or not, but basketball cards are dead.
Oh, dude, they're dead.
That.
I was in that video. I was in the background.
So for those don't know, Tim went on his little normal rant online, posted something on Instagram, and kind of went a little viral there about how he went to with Target or Walmart, and there was just stacked with like new basketball product in there, and he came out and made a video saying basketball products are dead. And dude, it's funny because I was thinking about that, and they weren't dead last year because Wimby. They were like the hottest thing on the market because of Wimbies.
But it's not even just the retail products. It's just like basketball cards have such a big discrepancy between blame the five basketball cards that have like value right now. Wemby, Luka, Curry, LeBron. Who else playing basketball right now? Cards have a high demand and value.
Caitlin Clark.
No, NBA.
I know.
Bronny James?
No.
Nobody's
buying Bronny James.
I'm trying to think who else.
I'm messing with you.
Halliburton, maybe? Because the playoffs?
Ant-Man? Anthony Edwards?
Those are all like,
but those are all like a tier below, too.
Exactly.
Like, they're not...
And then what's below that? $2 cards. That's it. There's no in between with basketball.
It's a golden age to be collecting basketball. Like if you're really into like Kobe Buffkin on the Hawks, you can get some killer autographs super cheap.
It's funny that you say that because Tim, I was thinking about this. Like once Wimby went out last year after getting his blood clot and stuff like that, like the market just disappeared. I felt like
that is weird. Yeah, I feel like it did coincide with that. Do you think we're going to get a Cooper Flag Mercury this year?
Oh God, I hope not,
dude. It's funny you guys said that because earlier today I was like thinking about this. I was like, we are going to, because someone commented on your post about Cooper Flag. And I was like, we're probably going to see another boom next year with Cooper Flag. Well, actually this year in October, because Topps gets the line of product. They take over the licensing on October 1st. So you know that they're already starting to produce that. That stuff's going to be sitting in boxes and it's going to drop.
They desperately want that for sure. They definitely do. Topps does. And this is my feeling. I could be wrong, but I don't feel it's the same. Like I have picked up Cooper Flags, and the hype for Flag compared to Victor is different. It's different.
Why do you think
that better? He's not 7'14" and shooting 50-foot 3-pointers. That's why.
I don't think 7'14" is a thing, but all right.
It is. That's 8'2". I just was trying to test you.
I failed.
Do you want to know how many?
Do you know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't. I feel like you have to be like otherworldly to get people's attention, like LeBron James or Victor. And Cooper's good, but and he's great even. Probably going to be a multi-time All-Star, but I think he's going to be better than last year. I mean, How
many NBA cards do you think you bought at National?
Did I buy
NBA, not Bowman U, NBA.
I bought some NBA stuff, some vintage stuff, but 90s, like Shaq, cool. Like I got a silver flasher metal Shaq for like $0.25. Like it wasn't any big ticket items. I would like to buy more.
3, 4. I bought 5 NBA cards out of the thousands of cards I bought.
Well, you were too busy. You were too busy you were like just running around everywhere, man. You were just like every time I saw you, you're like, "Hey guys." And then you open up a bag and you spent like $14,000. And you didn't have anything.
Dude, the funny thing is like just like you were talking
about
earlier,
like, did you know they made Donkey Kong cards in 1981? I'm like, "No, I didn't." But you're happy and I'm glad you're happy.
Literally,
you found your niche. I love it.
I couldn't find the Donkey Kong cards. I was looking for those, but
how come you didn't buy any of those Nintendo stickers?
I have a box. That's why I didn't buy them. I have a full box at the house, unopened.
Yeah, because those things, if you grade those things are good money.
I agree. And the biggest thing is what I learned this year is that there is a Series 2 that was released in Canada only, the O-Pee-Chee version of it.
And you bought a box of those?
No, I couldn't. I wish I could find a box.
Oh, you bought a pack?
I bought 4 packs of those, yeah. So, but I mean, the boxes I think the cheapest box I saw online was like between $5,000 and $7,000.
Here's a cool pack. You were with me, I think, Rod, when I bought this.
Oh, yeah.
The Michigan Test, 1983, like the plastic packaging.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be for a video.
Did you see that, Tim, when he bought that?
Did you see this?
It's crimped.
It's 1983.
Yeah.
But it's like a modern style pack. It's tripping me out because obviously we didn't see these when we were kids.
Oh, because they were wax packs.
Yeah, they were wax,
Yes.
but this is 1983, but it's like a modern style plastic packaging.
Did he say why they call it the Michigan Test?
They probably produced them in Michigan.
They produced them in I don't know if they produced them in Michigan, but I think they only sold them in Michigan. It was like a test run to see how it would work.
What a weird place to pick to sell the pack. Like why Michigan?
I feel like Michigan would be a real hotbed for baseball
that's
card
where
stuff,
the National
honestly.
is going to be in 2028.
Yeah, 2028, guys.
And
Shout
people
out
are upset about that.
Detroit.
It's the what is that? That's a.
I mean, what do you got? What do we got when we go to Detroit?
45
We could see the lake, right? We could go hang out at 8 Mile. What else is there to do?
Wait, isn't the National on the 8 Mile?
It might be.
The way people were talking about it,
I was like, that was probably the biggest takeaway when people have their misconception about Michigan and how that
they say the same thing about Chicago, and the National's not even in Chicago.
It's in Rosemont, yeah. Which I will say, man, let's talk about the National for a second. Like, wow. For my first time going to a National, I know this Tim's third, Cary second, and all I can say is wow. It was the best way. I always tell people the best way to describe the National is like walking through a sports card museum where you can buy stuff off the walls. And
you can. Me and Cary can.
Yeah, that was your experience. And honestly, we see that in your videos, and your videos are awesome. Like I was telling you yesterday, they felt like, because you and me, and Tim's done them in the past, I believe, too, like we do the flea market card videos. And your videos very much felt like the coolest flea market ever, right? Like all this stuff that you could possibly find like one of these boxes at a flea market. You're certainly not going to find one affordably at a normal card show or a card shop. But at your videos were very much showing that. Whereas like me and Tim were just like we were miners. We had our helmets on and we were digging for gold.
Here's the thing, I planned to be a miner. I was planning going in there, digging through the bargain boxes with you guys, and then I walked in and I was like, look at all these shiny objects. Like
we talked about this. I'm like, this is where we determine if you're one of us and you are not a bargain boxer, really, to the degree we are.
Dude, here's the thing is I bargain box a lot at the shows and you guys just didn't see it though. That's the funny thing. Like I literally stood at a table with you guys for an hour bargain boxing.
No, an hour of a 5-day show. We put in 120 hours, bro. You did an hour when you weren't talking to Tony Ravioli or whoever you were meeting on the state, or like you're meeting everybody.
Yeah, Tony Ravioli, he's friends, cousin Lasagna Boy. Come on, man.
Lasagna Boys, man, from the Lasagna Boys podcast.
Oh yeah,
we go way back. You know, you should know those. But oh man, so Tim, I know you had some stuff you want to talk about today. You want to get some stuff off your chest.
Yeah,
you want to talk.
I like Dark Sith. Tim, I feel like we should lean into Sith Tim.
Tim, you're trying to become a villain on this show a little bit, in a way. Like,
I mean, you told me I'm a turnbuckle now.
He's a turnbuckle.
Damn it, you're a heel, not a turnbuckle.
Dude, we watched a lot of wrestling, by the way, the week you were gone.
Oh,
and I just want to plug one of my favorite YouTube channels out there right now. It's called Rod Grimes Wrestling. If you guys aren't watching Rod Grimes, imagine Rod I don't know. You were buff back then, so it had to have been 15 years ago.
Thanks, buddy.
And imagine him. He got really scared of this mental patient. It was like a guy who was like wrapped up and stuff. That was the character he was playing, and you wouldn't go in the ring and fight him. That's what I remember. They called you Scaredy Pants, I think it was.
Yeah,
there's
scaredy pants.
Scaredy pants.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that online.
But Jimmy said you had a really cool move. I think he called it like a drop slide kick or something like that in the match we were watching.
No, you were actually more athletic than I thought you were. In all honesty, I'm like, oh man, Rod's actually a pretty good wrestler.
I always tell people I was an average wrestler, but I was a really good character, and I was good at talking the mic. I was good at getting the crowd involved, but I was an average wrestler. I would say that skill wise.
Jimmy said you know how to do a good. What did he call it again? It's not a promo. It's a
probably a promo. Yeah, cut a promo. That's where you cut like an interview.
No. When you're like making your smack talking videos.
Yeah, that's called cutting a promo. Yeah. That's what they call that. So that's
good at that.
Yeah, that was something I will.
You were good at
that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was
He
scared.
said I should probably cut promos for like.
you should cut promos. You cut a promo and I just start cutting into you. But yeah, it was fun, man. I had a good time with that. Good little run. But honestly, it's funny as you brought that up because like a lot of my videos were centered around wrestling stuff because that's what I personally loved. And I saw stuff that I have never seen before in person at the National, like those tickets from Japan.
Oh, dude, those were crazy.
So for the viewers out there, someone had these tickets from like 1982 to like the early 80s of like Hulk Hogan, the Road Warriors, Ric Flair from All Japan Pro Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they were graded by PSA. They were super cool to see. And then he had a whole table. There's a whole boxing table. That was probably one of my favorite tables throughout the whole National. And I ended up buying some stuff for my PC, which I totally went there to just buy stuff to flip, and I didn't think I bought anything to flip until like day 2 or 3. So
I bought a whole stack of 1930s boxing cards.
That's right. That was at the SoCo soccer show.
Yeah, SoCo Expo. Oh, you want to tell everybody what's happening tonight before we get too deep?
This? I'm glad you brought that up. So tonight I will be live on Dibdit Cards at 4:45 Eastern Standard Time, and Gary V. Yes, correct. Tonight. Afternoon, dinner time, but Gary V will be on Dibdit Cards today, guys, and we will be ripping some V friends. We will be giving away Gary V autographs, some free packs, a ton of stuff. So please come hang out.
The actual Gary V, not just some guy named Gary V.
Yeah, yes. The actual Gary V. Yes, he'll be on there. So it starts at 4:45. Come in there, hang out, and we will be auctioning off running packs of V friends at $1. So if you guys don't know, go on eBay, and those boxes are selling the top scoring V friends anywhere between $500 and $600 a box, and we'll be starting the packs at $1. Yes, so they pretty much have gone through the roof on that. But
yeah, excited about
That's
that.
awesome.
Super excited. And then Tim and Cary will be going live right after me, so we'll be rating into them guys, and then I'll come back on later on that night and do a 2025 score football break. So it's going to be a big night of the No Bangers. So you guys like us, come support us, hang out in Dibdit Cards.
We'd love to have you.
The link is in the description down below, and come hang out. So
and the pinned comment probably.
Yes, it will be pinned. Yes, it would be pinned to the very top of it. So, but all right. Well, Tim, you sent me a thing about a LeBron James card.
No,
from
Steph Curry.
Oh, Steph Curry.
Oh
yeah,
no,
sorry.
you want to talk about the national one first? Yes.
Yeah, so the national one first. So you had what was the problem that you had with this card, LeBron James?
Well, I didn't necessarily have a problem with the card. I just thought it was an interesting conversation because do you guys know what the total number of cards graded at PSA was during the national?
I think it was like 60,000 or something.
Wasn't it over 100K?
I thought it was like 60,000. I could be totally wrong, but it was whatever number I thought it was going to be, it blew it out the water. I thought maybe they would grade like 10 or 20,000, maybe if that, but I was not expecting it to be like 5-10 times that.
So also crazy big news now with PSA. You can send your cards to PSA and they give you a 33% discount on your grading fee if you let them sell it for you. And I'm assuming you have to pay them to sell it for you too. So it's like, I wonder what the numbers work out there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. And are they selling them through eBay?
I think through their vault, yeah.
Through their vault, okay.
Yeah, they got a vault, yeah.
Because I know they made that big trade last year. They traded Golden Auction House for the eBay vault.
Every place has a marketplace. We have a marketplace. That's the modernization of of
Well,
reselling.
as a marketplace, it didn't look like they were doing too well at the National.
Who's that?
Your boy Probstein.
My boy.
Yeah, with his new website, the beta Snipe, that you guys couldn't even find.
Allegedly,
online.
all of this is alleged. I don't want to get
sorry. Allegedly, my bad. I rely on Cary to speak allegedly for me.
So I looked online. The only thing I still find is still spelled BYD. So like I don't know what is going on.
I couldn't find it. I looked. Yeah. I was having trouble finding it too.
I mean, I took a picture of it and showed it to Cary because we couldn't remember what we were talking about. And then I couldn't remember the name of it. And I was like, here it is, right here. It's Snipe, SNYPE.
I used to. Did you guys ever snipe hunt back in the day? Like look for those when you were like at scout camp or whatever?
What do you mean?
Was that a West Coast? Snipes were like, you would hunt for them.
What is a snipe? Like
no, like it was something like when I was 12, I went out snipe hunting.
We got that
scout
part.
Camp.
We still don't know what a snipe is, though. What
exactly?
What is the snipe?
No, exactly. You're right. What is
I
it?
didn't even
it doesn't
make it
exist.
Cub Scouts.
It doesn't make. It didn't exist. So they would make us go out and hunt for something, and then we'd get told later on that it was fake.
Gotcha.
It
So
real.
they were tricking.
Maybe it's a West Coast thing. Maybe it was a fever dream I had. I don't know, but I think it happened.
So, anyways, that at the National, there was a gentleman. So the cost to have your card graded and have it back the same day, which they couldn't do, obviously. People didn't get their cards back in the same day. But, I mean, who really expects to get their card back in the same day from PSA when they take 12 months to send you your cards back normally? Costs $150. So, first of all, if I were to pay $150 to PSA to get same-day grading and they didn't give me my card back the same day, I'm not paying you $150. There's not a chance in hell. Why? Why am I paying you $150 to get my card graded the same day, but you're giving it to me 2 days later? No, I don't. What if I had to leave? What if I was only there for 1 day and you were like, oh, sorry. No.
I'll just mail it to you.
Yeah, and then that gets lost in the mail and ends up in somebody's repack.
You're teaching me what I already know. I don't waste my time grading, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, this guy took his card to PSA and it cost $150. When he went to go get his card back and pay for it, they upcharged him $600.
So, okay, let's do a deep dive in this because there's different levels of grading and thing. And what was the card though? What was the card that? Explain the card exactly.
The card is a 2006 Upper Deck Black LeBron James patch auto.
Number to what? Number to 25.
Number to 25.
Yeah, they upcharge based on the value of the card.
So,
correct?
First off, why would you submit a card at the lowest value tier if you said LeBron James autograph number to 25? You know damn well that card is going to be worth more than $500 right off the bat, or whatever the minimum was.
But how do you know that that's the minimum? That there was a minimum?
Because they always, if you go to their website, they always have a minimum when they do their stuff. That's been
they do
PSA's
explain that. But that's an interesting thought. They do that. People should expect that. But why is it done? Is there a reasoning behind that beyond just making money?
Do you want to know what the value that they valued it at to have a $600 upcharge?
$10,000.
$10,000.
Yeah. So that's why, because it's a liability for insurance purposes. Now, I'm not saying this is completely right. I'm not saying that they are, but they would be liable for that card then. So they do put a higher value on it to cover for insurance purposes because if there is an issue with it.
They guarantee it, don't they?
Yeah, at that
or
point.
they just want to put a $10,000 value on it so that they can charge somebody $600.
Well, I mean, if there's market data that shows that that's potentially what that card is worth, I mean, it makes sense.
Sure,
like
they would back it up with market data, I would imagine.
And the card's been out for almost 20 years. So why wouldn't they read some type of market data? There's 25 of them out there. I'm sure there's more out there. I mean, I only got an 8.5 or 9 or what ended up getting? Do you remember? Is Tim frozen?
Yeah, Tim is frozen. Wow.
Oh, what a funny photo. Look at him. Oh, hey.
You're back, buddy.
You're frozen. A very funny photo.
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
It's the DC. They're taking over DC, and they're messing up my internet right now. But the card has no comps. So how do they determine it? Similar cards are selling for $2,000 to $5,000 raw. So they just automatically valued that 8.5 of that card to $10,000.
Well, I'm sure they do the same thing that we do. When
I wonder if you can like fight the valuation on something like that with them. Like, say, I don't see your justification for that value. And I wonder if
they said that there was BGS's 9.
Yep, Tim's frozen again.
Tim's frozen again.
How ironic was it? You guys are making fun of me earlier because my camera kept cutting out.
Dude, you were stuck in that Max Headroom 1980s dungeon where you were like moving side to, like I'd never seen anything like that. Like you were on a VCR or something.
It was quite funny. And then you and Tim made fun of me the entire time. Then we go live and you guys like,
I'm the one out in the country. I'm the one out in the sticks, and I've got reception here, guys.
Yeah. And Tim's still frozen. He should probably leave and come back. Do you think he can hear us right now?
I think he's pretty upset right now because first off, Terry McLaurin, how do we say it, is gone. He hates. He doesn't want to play for the Commanders anymore, and who can blame him?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a team that's probably not even going to make the playoffs this year. Yeah, if they're lucky, though, you know.
And we all know that Jaden Daniels is going to have a sophomore slump, and then Tim's going to be.
I feel like upset. Yeah. But they still have Sam Howell backing him up, so that he's not much better.
No, I mean, possibly could be.
We should talk all the trash. What other things could we say about his beloved team? I don't think.
Well,
I don't think
this is weird.
Yeah, I don't think they should have won back in '91. I don't think I thought the Bills were better.
Hey,
PSA obviously doesn't want to hear me talk about them, but
big PSAs, shut you down allegedly.
Big grading.
Allegedly shutting you down.
No, but the BGS sold for like 2,000 to 5,000 or something like that in 9s. So
okay, but a BGS is like a third of the price of like PSA now, pretty much.
Is it really though?
I mean, I would have to look at. I mean, it's definitely a lot lower than that. So
I don't know. It just seems a little awkward for me. Like I would imagine if I did that. Like Cary asked the question though, can you fight the valuation? Like, do they do like how the kids do at the table, and they're like, well, look at this comp, and look at this comp. And what's their cash value, trade value? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you do that to PSA? Like, being like, bro, like...
I'm pretty sure, I mean, just like any business, you could approach them, whether they're going to be listening to you or willing to change anything is another question. It might be a good idea for people to try to fight these valuations when it makes sense, when it's logical.
It's funny that you say that because I don't think I've ever heard anyone try to fight it because I think they're just so overwhelmed saying, oh, my card I thought was worth $1,000 is now worth $10,000. Sure, take my money.
Somebody said that if PSA puts an evaluation at $10,000, that they should automatically have to offer that to buy the card.
Yeah, I've heard stuff like that before.
Like 10,000, like that seems like a. So now what does he? If he wants to sell that card, say he wasn't keeping it for his personal collection, if he wants to sell that card, can he? Is it automatically now a $10,000 card?
I mean,
can he use that? Could he use that like in his on the selling platform he's selling on, saying that it was valuated by PSA as a
so when he listed
card.
on dibditcards.com,
America's favorite place to shop for cards, allegedly, I've heard.
Can he say it's $10,000 valuation by PSA?
I mean, if he has documentation, I guess you can't you? Because because here's the thing: when you send the card to submit to them, they do put it in writing and send back to you. Say, hey, we're going to upcharge you X amount of dollars. Could we value this at XYZ?
But it's interesting when there isn't an exact comp. Then do they just become like Dr. James Beckett at that point, and they're like looking at all the different places and estimating what the value is? And
that's a good question.
I mean, it's interesting. I feel like you should be able to fight that if they're having an estimate. You could estimate differently.
I'm assuming that if there were comps, you could fight it because
this is a weird discussion for the Bargain Box Bros to have.
Well, no, but it's part. Listen,
I barely even know what a PSA card looks like or feels like.
Cary, me, and you missed this, Rod. Cary, me, and Dawn did the. Was it Courtyard or Arena Club?
Yeah, it was Courtyard.
We did the free slab.
I heard.
I don't know where I put my slab though. It was in my bag. I'll find it probably like in 6 months. But yeah, I got a Charles Barkley PSA 8, like an 80s, 90s insert.
Okay.
What'd you get? I got a Michael Jordan.
Oh, that's cool.
1995 Upper Deck promo PSA 9.
Okay.
For free, LeBron James.
Yeah, John got a LeBron James.
Like the Diary of LeBron James, like first year card or whatever.
I find it interesting because I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but they literally just raised $30 million of capital. So they are coming in strong. So moving forward, you guys will see a lot of Courtyard right now and the digital repacks. And I think it's an interesting concept because the pool card, if you don't want it, they'll buy back to you for 90% at market value. So at the end of the day, like they're making money off the repack, they're making money on the buyback, and they're going to put that right back in a repack. And it's a smart business model. Like it's a very smart.
Repacks are
business
dying,
model.
by the way.
They're not dying at all. How do you figure they're dying right now?
Repacks are dying. They're dying, and the death is going to come faster than you can even think about it.
What will that do to the market? Let's say like there wasn't like the National was like, because we were talking about this, like people were saying you couldn't find any deals at the National, and it couldn't have been further from the reality that I feel like me and Tim felt, because we were in the bargain boxes. You know, you guys were bringing up great cards to these buyers, right? And they were just giving you looks like, why are you bothering showing me this card, even though it was a great card? Because if it's not an uptown, downtown, kaboom,
National Treasures,
kablam,
RTA,
if it's not like like explosive or whatever,
Black Fight Night 1 of 1.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's just like the market is so silly in my opinion with those cards. Those cards, I don't see, and this is just an opinion, I don't see any world where these will continue at the pace they are. Like people are, especially with the going to Topps and Panini losing their licensing and everything. I just can't imagine.
What are
them
people going to put in their
clip.
repacks when there's no more downtowns?
Are they going to actually have to know what cards are good at that point, instead of just looking at a cartoon case hit and putting it in a repack? Are they going to actually have to, go through boxes and figure out which cards are valuable and which ones aren't?
All right, let's go back to my original question. Why do you guys think repacks are dying right now? Because
everybody is doing them. Okay, everybody is doing them.
So if everyone's doing them, that means repacks aren't dying. That means that there's a strong market for them because they're all still making a profit.
That's what happens. You get to the top of the hill, and then what happens? You fall off the side of the cliff.
Okay, but that doesn't mean we're at the top of the hill yet. That means that the market is super strong for repacks.
We're getting close. We're getting close.
Well, I will agree with you to the point, but I think the biggest thing is that these corporations, like you have Arena Club now, they're coming into market. They do the digital repacks.
Small repacks. Didn't we talk about
your boy Jeff Wilson? He's got a.
Didn't we talk about how like small repackers are going to struggle as time goes on?
That's the point I'm getting at. So you have all these big corporations coming in. I mean, hell, we saw Walmart. Walmart had a massive stand was super weird, by the way. Like Walmart had that. We'll talk about it in a second, but they had to stand there. So we're seeing all these big corporations. Oh, nice. Yeah, we see all these big.
I sold mine for $4 yesterday night, so that was the market value on a live sale for me.
There you guys go. But no,
so
we
basically
see all these
no bids on mine if I run it.
You
pretty
never
much.
know.
But we see this corporation coming in, and they're going to be pretty much taking over the marketplace. So I think it's going to push out the small repackers, which it could help clean up the marketplace a little bit as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like you had to go into them. So I know you're trying to say something important, and I don't want to.
You're good.
I want to talk about how you had to stick your hand in that weird hole to get the gems. You don't even know what was in there. The Walmart hole of gems or whatever. Gem hole.
Is that what they did?
You had to put your hand in it. And then,
it was kind of like a butthole. I'm not gonna lie.
It was very butthole-like.
Walmart had a glory hole that you guys stuck your body parts in.
Our hand. We didn't even think. We just free stuff. I don't care what's inside. Yay! It was.
If you guys think
you had to question who you were. It made you question your humanity a little bit. Like, what are you willing to stick your hand into for a free Messi card? Because that's all. I mean, I know people got other stuff. I just saw a lot of Messi cards.
Yeah.
I didn't sanitize my hand after that either. So I kind of regretting it.
Kidnap you guys, get a big white van with a piece of cardboard that says free cards, and then just pull up next to the card show. You guys would be suckers for it, right? So that's the best way to kidnap the bargain box bros.
Don's gonna turn around and be like, "Where is Cary and Tim?"
Yeah, I think they're jumping that way.
I'm gonna go thrifting now. Forget this.
Good Lord. But let's talk about the Walmart. How weird was it to have Walmart at the National Sports Card Convention? Was it weird?
It wasn't that weird because we had been talking about them and their deal with We the Hobby, or I forget. They just forgot the R. Like, what are we doing here? Like, We the Hobby. Like, come on, man. Like, you're completely missing a 3-letter word there. But okay.
Can we talk? I don't know.
I don't know, but I thought Okay, so what weird was for me is that they walk around like they look like they worked at a Walmart store. They had like the blue
What
outfits
did you
on.
expect them to wear?
I don't
What are
know.
those
Like,
all over print ramen noodle jerseys that the Breakers were wearing in the Breakers Pavilion?
Yeah, dude. Every breaker went to the same wholesale place to get their
just
uniform.
all over print bootleg bicycle jerseys from Temu with like
Exactly.
weird graphics all over them.
Exactly. Give
What
me
are we
pinstripes. Give me some variation, some colorway of pinstripes.
The whatnot looked like they were. Everybody who had a whatnot jersey on looked like
they were like going to play the
indoor.
They looked like they were about to go like play the Savannah Bananas in like an exhibition match.
That's actually pretty accurate there. I mean, what was your guys' thoughts of the Breaker Pavilion at the? It just seemed
dude,
out of place.
I could care
I wanted
less.
to throw up in my mouth.
I think that was the biggest complaint I saw online, that people are like, because
I just didn't see any purpose for it. Like I didn't. Sorry, I'm cutting you off, but if you wanted to play putt putt or shoot a basket, like what they break, you could break. I just didn't. I don't. I guess activations to get people to your page on Whatnot or whatever. But I didn't see a heck of a lot of like. It was a lot of space that I'd much rather have had the copious amount of dealers who wanted space, like everybody at the SoCo show, for example, who would have loved to have had a spot to sell their soccer cards. I mean, I understand Whatnot and some of the bigger breakers, but like it really seemed to, and I didn't even explore it, to be honest. Because what are you going to go? You're just going to go play whatever game they have and try to win something.
They didn't even have a Don West Memorial statue.
Yeah.
Don West Memorial.
Dude.
He's
next year we should dress up as three dudes and just like try to sell a Shaq plaque. And we'll do our Don West impersonations in the Breaker Pavilion.
I mean, it was literally like a room full of Joe Hollywoods. Like it was like going to a 1970s used car salesman convention.
It was like going to a
Vegas.
frat party at a college, but like not a college you wanted to go to.
Yeah.
You know,
it
wasn't ASU or some cool party school. It was like ITT Tech or something, and it was
what was the name
allegedly.
of the school?
I do want to say how alleged everything I'm saying is.
Phoenix University, the online
online though,
non-accredited college.
There was another school that we heard of that we thought was the same school that Rod played at. It was called.
What do we? Oh, dude, yeah, it was
Tarleton State.
Tarleton State. Did you play at Tarleton State?
No.
We saw a guy who played at Tarleton State. We're like, that's like a Rod school.
Yeah, I did go to a D3 school and I did play D3 football, but no, that's not the school.
Where did you play?
Well, I'm just glad you didn't turn out to a D3 breaker.
Yes, well, it's Albright College in Reading, Pennsylvania. So, which is it's not the right by Kutztown. It's about an hour outside Allentown, hour outside Philly. So. Played my freshman year, and then I took up full contact kickboxing. Then transferred down to Florida, University of South Florida, and here I am.
I got a 2-year scholarship for acting at the College of Eastern Utah. So
they actually give that scholarship.
Yes,
for acting?
I didn't take it.
Wait, so you have 3 degrees in college, and you got a scholarship, but didn't take it?
Yeah, I went to the U of U. Go Utes.
They thought you were talking about University of Miami just now.
No. The U of U is the University of Utah. That was hard for me to get used to. Is everybody calls the U? I called the U Utah my whole life because I lived in Utah and I don't know nothing about Miami football. But out here, if I say the U or anywhere outside of a 200-mile span in Utah, it's the Miami. Yeah, so I get it.
So going back to the breakers at the National, I think there's a place for them because they are a big part of the industry. But I think they should be moved to
on Whatnot.
Yeah,
on
the
Whatnot.
parking lot.
No, like they could be on Whatnot selling their cards. Why do they need a space at the? I mean, I'm not even trying to be mean about this. Like, what was the purpose of them having space at the National? What was the purpose?
Advertisement.
It's advertisement, but they got fire jerseys. Just walk around with those. That's a lot of space for and I didn't, and maybe I missed some stuff, and maybe there was some cool. I saw putting, and I know they did one year. They did. I guess you could just go there and yell banger, and maybe they're gonna yell back at you the same thing. I don't know. There might have been some stuff I wasn't participating in that was fun.
Well, Bo Jackson,
but I don't see the point of it.
Yeah,
bro. Bo Jackson Battle Arena is blowing up right now.
I told you guys.
See how much the Bo Jackson card sold for?
Yes, a ton of money.
Dude, that was the
$1,000.
Yeah,
that was insane. The year that they've had, hats off to them. Like it went from me seeing them last year, and Tim, you were there, like seeing a big poster. That's all they had was a big thing, and I'm like, there ain't in my head. I'm like, there's no way this is gonna be a thing. No chance. To it being as like it was a big. They had a big area, and their stuff is selling well. So hats off to them. They really pulled something out there.
Not to mention they had a 6-foot Bo Jackson bobblehead. Bo Jax was probably the coolest thing there. And then they were breaking on stage. They were literally so. That was a cool setup because they were actually breaking on stage, just like the Whatnot crew and everyone else over there. But they had table steps so people can sit down and play and do other stuff. It was very interactive. Like that was the proper way to do that, like a break-in area for them.
Now when I say they're so good at it because now when I say Bo Jackson, I don't even say Bo knows anymore. I say he's in the battle arena.
So I want to know
they've
who
gotten into the ether of my head.
It would have been cool if they had like a battle arena though.
Dude, they should have had a battle arena.
But
just give us
a gladiator
No, they table set the battle of the cards, but they actually did.
They need an actual arena with ropes and give us foam sticks and just let us go.
Javelins and the tennis ball machines.
Dude, basically, set up American Gladiators. Have Bo just shooting us with tennis balls. Holy crap, that'd be awesome.
Bro, you know what?
See, they could have just taken out the breaker area and done that.
Oh my God, yes.
That would have been amazing.
See, listen, you guys call me the brains of the operation. You guys should redesign the National, and that's what you put in
the whole thing needs to be redesigned because that thing was like trying to ride a wave at high tide in the middle of
we would Pacific. Constantly find secret rooms with more cards.
So bad.
So, day 3, all of us walked in an area like, where was this at? The rest of the whole day? It was like a whole secret room, or like because I think that the problem was they had the Beckett area set up, and if you guys don't know, like Beckett had this like box like PSA, Beckett, CGC, the ones who were actually grading stuff on site, they made like a makeshift like fortress pretty much so that they can grade and do other stuff inside there. But they had where Beckett was, it was all black, but it was blocking like the entrance from like when you were walking down an aisle, you couldn't see like the other side of it. And the promised land of cards was just hiding over there. Like we walked in there, it was like a light shine down from the heavens, the card heavens, and we're like, there's another 300 vendors in here. Like, what is going on? So. And you guys got some good pickups in there too, didn't you, Tim? I saw you back there digging through a box.
Yeah, that whole section was fantastic. I found massive lot of Bowman Draft Mojos, which are short print Asia exclusives. Like literally an entire stack of them.
Tim taught me about those.
Yeah,
and then our Cary's boy was back there too. Jason Lovesmith. The Pokemon.
Oh, Jason Page?
Oh,
yeah, everywhere I go, it's that poster. I've been to like so many things recently, Pokemon related. So I went to the one non-Pokemon thing, and it's just so I was expecting to see Jason Page. I think he just rents booths.
He was there though. He was there.
He was there, but like he has.
I heard him singing.
Oh, did you? No, that might have been
every time
me.
I was looking through the bargain boxes, all of a sudden I would just hear him sing. So people would come up, I guess, and pay for him to sing in their video with him.
I still can't forget the first time I saw him sing. I was at Collecticon in Dallas, 2023, and I'm at the only sports bargain box in all of Collecticon. I was there working with the Card Dealer Pro collects people, and I look up and there. Yeah, tell me about it, dude. That's what I do. There was like 30 men and women my age, our age, that were just going to town singing, and there was this dude with the charisma, like a young Neil Diamond, up there, Pokemon, and you're like, it was mesmerizing to watch. And then right after, even better, it was Tone Loc. So I was bargain boxing, and Tone Loc was just going funky cold Medina, and I was finding $3 autos for $1 a piece.
That
might have been heaven. I'm pretty sure that's what heaven is. It's just going to be funky cold Medina. We're going to have Snow singing Informer, and we're just going to be bargain boxing Informer.
Yep, that was my
experience. Boom, boom, down.
It's Comic-Con this year, 100%, man, 100%. So, all right, first off, let's backtrack here. What is the controversy around him? Because there's a lot of memes about him at sports card shows.
Ooh, Tone Loc?
No, the guy from the
no
Pokemon
controversy.
Guy. Yeah,
because he will sign his autograph and trade it. So he'll have autograph cards, and I've heard as much as he gives different value to whether he does. He has a short form auto, I believe. I could be wrong. And he has a long form auto. He charges more for inscriptions. There's a couple in Instagram reels about it that are pretty entertaining and everything.
So wait, so he's trading his autograph for Pokemon cards?
So imagine if we got popular enough that we could sign autographs and then just trade them like
for
I don't know,
downtowns, and then sell them to backyard to put in their repacks that nobody buys because they're
allegedly.
Allegedly.
There. So
but that's how that grift works.
How many different flame names are there? Can we just guess how many flame names there are for repacks?
There's the same people who are giving these repacks their titles are the same people who are purchasing those ramen noodle jerseys that they wear at the card show.
What is there's flamethrower, there's flame blaster, there's
Blastoid, and
there's not a fire starter. That would be like if we started a repack.
Oh, great song,
we would call it
Prodigy.
Fire Starter because it would just be garbage cards, like bargain
Fire
cards.
Starter. That's a great song.
Remember, he had like he did a intentional balding, kind of like right down the middle, and he had the spikes on the side. Prodigy.
Shout out Prodigy.
I know Rod's trying to actually keep us coherent today. I apologize. Everything we said was alleged, by the way.
No, I'm being actually slightly entertained. Normally you guys just annoy the hell out of me, but slightly entertained today. So I allow it. All right.
It's also speaking of
Tim Wallach. Tim Wallach, by the way.
Tim Wallach?
Yeah, Tim Wallach.
My new nickname is White Cheddar.
White Cheddar. We decided when we walked into an Arby's.
Yeah.
They were selling white cheddar mac and cheese, and I looked at Tim and I'm like, "You're a white cheddar to me."
So we actually had a question. Someone actually came up to me and asked us about the food at the National. So what do you guys thoughts on the food at the National?
Dude, that pack, the place that had the
Pokeball,
the Pokeball was really good. Honestly, like legitimately, really, really good.
Overpriced, but yeah, definitely really good.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could honestly have been more overpriced in my opinion. It was like 15-ish, 16.
Yeah, I think it's actually fairly worth it because it was pretty filling. I mean, I didn't eat much at the National. I ate Moats fruit snacks and Kirkland granola bars, pretty much.
Well, you load up on a big breakfast though too, because we the hotel that we stayed at had a free.
Yeah, we don't want to brag, but we were staying, guys. Get ready for this. Your ears might burn. We were staying at an Embassy Suites.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
in a suite, I believe, at the Embassy Suite. You know, probably
was crack all.
I'm pretty sure Conor McGregor was there before us, and maybe some other like a diplomat was there after us. That was the kind of quality of it was an Embassy Suites.
So listen, speaking of hotels, remember when we did the live from the hotel, and somebody was talking about how they tore down trade night. It was true.
I told you, yeah.
Wow.
I
just wanted to make sure that I came back on and was on the record of saying that it was true. I watched the guy's video on it, and it was at an Embassy Suites.
So for those that don't know, the National has partnerships with a bunch of the hotels in the area, and then those hotels have some official trade nights, some have some unofficial trade nights, but there are a couple of the hotels in the surrounding area that were not part of the National thing, and literally the trade night or the meetups got shut down. Do you know the backstory to it, Tim? Why they potentially shut them down? Was it just because of security purposes? Was it because they weren't I guess the people that were coming to trade nights weren't weren't guests at the hotel? Like what? No,
apparently
do you know
they weren't. I guess they had an agreement with the National. I guess the National probably paid some of these hotels money to not allow people to have unsanctioned national events in their lobby. And the thing is like it wasn't even like a trade night. I don't think. I think it was like a meetup of like people who follow this guy's YouTube channel, and like they shut him down. And then they tried to go somewhere else, and then they shut them down, and then they were like outside in a grassy field or something. Like they had to move around. It was actually a quite fascinating video. I watched it.
So I will tell you this: someone who's done big events, because when I was on tour with the MMA company, we used to rent hotels, big arenas, and do stuff. But like, there's a liability issue for these hotels too. So you just can't walk up to a hotel. They have conference rooms. They have everything else. Like that's part of their business model where they're renting out these rooms and these conferences to do special events. So if you just plan to have a meetup in a hotel lobby, that's a lot of hotels won't allow that to happen because they have conference rooms, which is part of their business model. You know, they're renting out. So,
you know who ruined all that, right?
Who's that?
R. Kelly.
All right, we'll move on from this one.
He said after the party is the hotel lobby.
Oh, I know.
Oh, that is true, yeah.
I know. True. I know where you're going with this one, and we'll just keep it at that because there's a whole nother that they can go a little bit deeper too.
Did you tell everybody about your card that you found in the bargain box?
Who? Me?
You sent us a picture of it, Rod. Rod's like, who, me? I didn't get any bargain boxes.
Oh, yeah. Now the truth is coming out.
Which one? Oh God, I forget what was the name of the card.
Lube Gehrig.
Lube Gehrig, and it's a picture of Diddy on it. I thought it was hilarious. I didn't find it in a bargain box, but someone sent that picture to me, and I started laughing. So it was pretty funny. But you know what? Let's get to our topic. We're on point right now, and we're on. Let's talk about the bargain boxes at the National, because I had a very interesting question asked to me, and we'll talk about our experience here too. But for what we do, going to card shows, going to card shops, we dig through the bargain boxes, we take those cards, we bring them home, we resell those online, either Whatnot, Dibdit Cards, eBay, Cary, etc. Do you think for what you do, now this doesn't include the content, this doesn't include the other stuff at the show, if you're going there strictly to flip cards for a profit, is it worth you going to the National to dig through bargain boxes and value boxes to get cards, or would you be more profitable staying at home with all the other expenses going on? Remember, you're paying for travel, you're paying for hotel, you're paying for food, you're paying for everything else. What are your opinions on that, Tim?
I'll let Cary go first.
I mean, as far as food, you got to eat at home, eat on the road. You could, I would say that would be sixes, as long as you're not eating crazy fancy places on the road.
Okay.
I think if you're really, there are more bargain boxes, in the National than any show you could go to, across the nation at any given time. So I think just the sheer volume of cards that you can look at and opportunities you can have, connections you can make for a flipping business, for the ability, not just like we obviously have the whole content angle, which makes it a slam dunk no brainer for us.
Remember, I'm not talking about connections.
No,
though.
I know.
Okay.
No, but connections matter even when you're a bargain boxer.
True.
Because you might find out that person is in your state, or might be willing to ship you cards. Oh yeah, you love this kind of stuff. I get a box like this every 3 weeks. It doesn't sell at my show. I can maybe hit you up on Instagram and you can pay shipping or whatever and send it to you. So you can make connections that way more so than you could at any local show, or at least at a greater scale. And there's just so much opportunity of bargain boxes, like the one we went to in that little extra room where you found all the Bowman Draft Chrome stuff. Like, there's stuff I haven't seen ever. Like lots of National cards, stuff like that. I think it's worth it. If you're a bargain boxer on a budget, there's things you can do. We stayed 30 minutes away. You could stay farther away. You don't have to be connected to the hotel. You could save money on the hotel. I drove myself, so I stopped at card shops along the way. You'll see videos of those upcoming. If you're close enough, like say you're a day's drive away, maybe it's worth it. Stop at a couple card shops too. So I think it's worth it. Is it monumentally more worth it than a local show? Maybe not. But like, there's also the experience factor of going to the National that I think is worth it just for fun.
This is a tough question. It really is. Because obviously I go to card shows every weekend. So like for me, it's kind of like something that I kind of like, when you take everything out of the box and you're just literally talking about the box. I'd still would venture to say yes. And I think a lot of it has to do with volume, and I think a lot of it has to do with variety. So like the thing is like, like if I'm constantly going to shows in DC, Virginia, Philly, Jersey, Delaware, that there's a certain, pocket of cards that are not going to be obtainable in bargain boxes that might be from somebody who's coming from St. Louis to sell in Chicago.
Yeah. Because you're saying they're regional base. Yeah. Usually.
So like you open up a whole nother door of stuff. And like I was going through my footage, editing stuff, and I'm like, damn. There's probably thousands of cards that I passed on that I probably should have bought. You know what I'm saying? Like going through the bargain boxes. But like also it's weird.
Stop one real fast. To add to that, is it because these are cards you've never seen before? Because these are just new boxes, or why would you say that? Like, or just stuff that you just passed because there's just too much volume?
I think it was just stuff that I passed because there's too much volume, and like at that point in like I was editing day 2 video. So like at day 2, I was like not at Rod. Like Rod is like 10 minutes into the show, and he's like, like 10 minutes into the show, like I'm scared to spend $5 because I'm like, I have 4 more days left, right? So like, I think that's like a whole nother topic of discussion, obviously, is like tactical wise, like how do you move about like with your money in the boxes and stuff like that. But like, like for example, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 day, like when Cary and I were going through those boxes, like
Wait,
we were there
on the viewers that don't know what that is, by the way.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn, I don't have the shirt.
It's Gemini Sports Cards, and they have a system. They even said to me that they patented this. It's where on day one, basically every card, that would be Wednesday, I think, right? It would be $5. Day 2 is 4. Day 3 is 3. Day 2 is 1, and then Sunday the last day is 2, and then the last day is 1. I have a lot to talk. We should definitely discuss this whole system that they did, because it really tests you as a bargain boxer. Like, is this going to be here tomorrow, this card? And pretty much you're forced, I don't know if forced is the right word, but there's an impetus to buy a card now, more so than usual, because you're wondering if the card will be available.
And it makes you actually...
Yeah, which is a problem I honestly had with what they did, to be completely honest. And those people are great, super nice people. I feel like if you're going to do that, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you don't sell it all out to one person. I think if you want to market that, then you need to have...
What if they bought everything at $2? Because they weren't giving out deals either.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
It wasn't like they were like, it wasn't like I'll give you $200.
Yeah, no,
box.
You're right. They probably did just that. That makes sense then. So if they paid the market going price, then yes, I guess. If there was that was something that was I was surprised. I think it was the start of day the $2 day, maybe even in the $3 day that they sold out.
5, 4, so day 3.
Yeah, it was the $3 day that they.
They
sold out way earlier than I anticipated. Yeah. We'll put it that way, and I actually ended up staying away from that. I was going to go there every day and kind of just because I thought it'd be a really cool video to make, and I bought a couple cards on the $4 day, $3 day. Like there wasn't like the cards, in my opinion, at that moment were not good enough. Like I had to really dig to find a couple $4 ones that I was not super stoked with the deal. I mean, it was good enough, but it wasn't something that I was like excited to go back for $3 day. So I really
crushed it. I crushed it on $4 day.
You did? You found some stuff.
Yeah, I got that Alejandro Osuna first Bowman to 99, which is like a $40 card. And then I found the same player first Bowman to $4.99, which is like a $20+ card. So like I was in the profit like before even counting the other cards. So like those kind of cards were in there. But that's the thing is like you got to know like the WNBA. So remember the one box I was at, and when you guys were digging through my boys from Chantilly, you guys were digging through his stuff, and I was over at the booth like to the right of it, and it was like heaven. They had prices marked boxes, and they had 50-cent boxes, and then the prices marked boxes were basically $1 to $5, and they had WNBA boxes too. I think Cary, you said you went back there and cleaned up on some.
Yeah.
So like I bought a bunch of WNBA from them, right? Literally, that same day, I found another booth, and they had bargain boxes, but they were just stupid overpriced. Like like it's interesting because the ultimate sign is if you find a Wander Franco card in a bargain box.
Oh yeah,
it's a blessing and the curse.
It's a great point.
Either it's $5 for a Wander Franco base rookie card, right? So you might find stuff in there that is way off underpriced because they're obviously not going through their boxes. Or it's a box of just absolute way overpriced junk.
Yeah.
20 cards that just
perfectly said. It's like value. It's either a box of stuff that they cannot let go of because they overpaid for years ago probably, or it's an untapped box that they haven't looked at or really thoroughly went through in years, and that could be good. So it's a sign anytime you find a Wander Franco in a bargain box to at least do some more digging in that box, because you don't know right off the bat.
So at that same booth, like I went through all the baseball stuff and I didn't find anything. And then right to the left of me, there was a box of WNBA, and I was like, so the guy's pricing was like top loaders were like 4 prices marked, and like unsleeved was like $3, but like if it had no sleeve or just a penny sleeve, it was 50 cents. And I was like, and is this true for these cards too? And he's like, yeah. And I mean, it was just all the same cards that I was getting at that other table that I was paying like $2-3 for were 50 cents.
Wow.
So it's like the disparity of knowledge between one vendor to another vendor is like night and day. So like, it's just think about that at the magnitude of 650,000 square feet.
And this is also the National, where these guys are not playing. Like, these are people who are professionally reselling cards. You don't get a booth at the National kind of half, like just kind of thinking about selling cards. Like, they've been doing it for a while. And the bargain boxes are a great place to see that disparity. Like, there are degrees of people being knowledgeable about the cards they have, even when they do it super professionally. And even when they're great at baseball, they might not know their WNBA. And you 100%. See that at scale, almost in every single table. There's something that's off. Sometimes it's all off because it's too high. But there's always something wrong. Like, they're not, and hopefully you find the tables, and you do when you're at the National, where there's like a pocket or a box or
the place we went to the last day. And here's a couple of things, too. Everybody was worried about the air conditioning at the National. And it was freezing cold. In that area, the last day, to the point where I had to have the lady give me her tablecloths so that I could wrap it around me, and
you're ridiculous.
Bargain box. And so but like, I cleaned up at that table 2 days, 2 different days. I cleaned up at that table,
and that was the last day too, after everything had been picked through. Yeah. And you were still finding gems.
That's the other thing, too, is like, you go to a local card show, say there's 50 tables, right? Once you go through those 50 tables, it's like, if you stop at one table and another guy who does what you do is at the other table, by the time you get to that table, there's nothing there. But if you're at National, it's unlimited possibilities. But at the same time, it is definitely FOMO, because you're like, if you go to a table and you find a few cards, you're like, damn, imagine what this box was filled with 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to answer my question, go back to full circle. Is it worth it? Was it worth it for you? If someone was going to the National and they just wanted to focus on bargain boxes and they had the expenses of a hotel, food, travel, driving, or flying, was it worth it for them to dig through bargain boxes to make a profit, or was it worth it for them? You have to give us your opinion on that.
Would it be worth it for them? Yes. You got to focus, though. If you're going to the National, I would try to go more than one day if you can.
You have to.
And you got to be in the boxes. There's going to be a lot of kids yelling at you to come join their whatnot stream or whatever. If you're in the breaker area, if you're a bargain boxer, you can just skip that area. It's not necessary.
Did you just? Did you just put mouthwash, or what? Like, did you spray it so your breath smelled good on the podcast? Like, what just happened there?
It's an oral fixation thing.
What? Okay,
I'm not.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Cary. I just know,
no, but like, yeah, you need to be head down. If you're head down in the boxes and you're taking advantage of your time there, and obviously go enjoy some of the stuff you want to go see. But if you're focused, you're going to have more opportunity than ever. And if you're good, I don't know, even if you want to learn, like, there is value in investing in your business and in your know-how too. Like, say you could make a little bit more money being local, but you actually went to the National, you went through and you went, oh man, I'm looking up a lot of cards. Like, how I talk about it in my videos. I take out cards that are interesting, and there's a lot of cards I'd never seen before, and I've seen a lot of cards.
The Pete Crow Armstrong.
No,
never even knew those cards existed.
Well, you would probably know if they existed if you lived in Illinois or Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only.
Do they do those for? They do those for every team?
No. I think that was an exclusive. So for those that don't know, Tim pulled a card that was a season ticket holder card, and he had no idea what it was. He just said it looked weird, so he bought this card. But it looks like a regular Heritage card, like.
Except for this.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like. That's why I bought it, because I'm like, something's off with this card. And it turns out it's a super short print Chicago Cubs season ticket holder exclusive.
And you paid, how much you pay for that card?
That was literally in a dollar box.
And what's the card valued at?
I value. I mean, I would sell mine at $75 cash. I think there's only 2 listed right now, and I think they're at $90, and it has a soft corner.
And there was multiple comps, the multiple sold comps with around like the $75 range too.
Between $40 to $75.
Okay. Yeah. There's like, if you guys are digging in those boxes, I mean, we could go through some of our biggest finds if you guys want. But like, I found the Bubba Chandler autograph Prism in the $3 box. I found a numbered Mizorowski in the quarter box that I paid $0.25 for. Not Bowman, it was Panini or whatever. When we were at the SoCo show, they had one baseball dealer. And I got Jackson Churio auto. Yeah, Jackson Churio auto for $3. Travis Bazzana auto for 3. These are not. Now, this is another thing I do a lot as a bargain boxer. Is it's hard to find the Bowman Chrome autos at those prices, but I was finding Onyx. I was finding that kind of stuff at $3 of stars. Leaf.
Yeah.
That I buy a lot of that for that reason. You can find value there. People underprice it. A lot of people I've found buying Leaf products and Onyx, they're looking for the big hitters. And they might not be educated on Bubba Chandler, or they may not be educated on who Travis, they should be, but they might not know who Travis Bazzana is. They're looking for, there's a couple guys, I'm not sure like how a Jackson Churio got in there so cheap. He's a big deal for a couple years, but it happens.
So Tim, what is your final answer on this one? Is it worth it, you think, going, or you haven't given us a
1,000% it's worth it going?
So for me, I would say, and just full disclosure for everyone out there, is Tim and Cary drove, so they had expenses for gas. I flew, so
tolls too. Jesus Christ,
oh my gosh.
Illinois, what are we doing?
West Virginia, by the way, driving home. West Virginia is insane.
Yeah, you guys had. Yeah, Tim was.
Every time we got in the car, we had to pay a toll.
Yes, Tim was not happy about that.
And $15 for parking too,
which is not bad, dude. I would say $15 for
way
parking
cheaper than I thought.
After 5 days.
Yeah, but still, like, if we were somewhere like
Cleveland, parking was free.
Here we go again.
Yeah, but there is the counterpoint. We were in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cary just
we were in Cleveland. We were in Cleveland, which is
allegedly.
Cleveland is pretty much Rosemont.
No, we were in Cleveland. My response is alleged, though. The way
yes, your response is alleged. But no, I would say for me, so like. And then full disclosure, like I had a bunch of Hilton hotel points, and so we got the hotel was covered, and then we got free continental breakfast. So we just had to pay for lunch and dinner, and then Tim was gracious enough to bring us a bunch of snacks, for the show. So that was nice. We had that. I left
my cooler in the hotel room.
Did you? Oh man.
Yeah, I had to buy another one so Josie didn't kill me, and I ordered the wrong size. I had to order another one that was the right size. So now I'm in the hole $50.
Well, that's a great story.
So adding that $50 on to the price, was it still worth it?
Yeah.
So I think you guys made a couple really good points I want to touch on. Number one is, for me, I don't have as much knowledge as you guys have when it comes to baseball, bargain box, and stuff like that. So hanging out with both you guys, I've learned so much this past year with baseball because I'm getting back in, doing a deep dive in baseball. And when I got to the National, I thought I knew a bunch about baseball. And then when I saw Henry, first off, baseball is king at the National. So people don't know, baseball is absolute king, number one. And I started digging through these bargain boxes. I didn't realize how much I don't know about baseball cards still. So that was a big takeaway for me. Number two, there wasn't a lot of football or basketball cards to go through, surprisingly, compared to everything else. So for me, I had to pivot at this show. But going back to what Cary said is earlier, you saw a lot of things you guys have never seen before. So for me, when I go to card shows, I may find a little non-sport. I may find a little wrestling, maybe a little bit of, maybe one table of 100 may have stuff like that. And I was able to find multiple tables of that. And it was stuff that a lot of these dealers didn't care about because they were filled with baseball, football, on much of their stuff. So a lot of the boxes that I was asking for were actually behind the table that they would hand to me. And I felt like I may have been the first person of the show or one of the few people of the show to actually dig through that box first. So I found a lot of really good deals. Like your boys from the table that we all dug through. I'm talking about your boys that from Chantilly. They had the big table set up there. We had all the bargain boxes on one side, and then they had like 30 boxes behind the table. Like I cleaned up at that table just for the fact that I was able to get them to hand me the wrestling and UFC box, and all that stuff was extremely undervalued because they didn't have it out at the table, so it probably haven't been dug through in a while.
It also helps if you know where you're going to be selling your cards, and we all sell in various different locations.
That's true.
So there's certain cards I may or may not have bought because I don't want to maybe sit on a buy it now card for $3 or $4 or $5 on eBay, but I'm willing to pay to put them through Whatnot or Dibdit Cards. So if you know where you're, and we've talked about this before, if you know where you're going to put these cards, it opens you up to some basically boxes that you might not have bought from before.
Yeah, and there's a whole bargain box table filled with non-sport stuff, but it was like from like the 60s, 70s.
Oh, Cary and I looked through that.
Did you? How cool was that, man? That was something you just don't normally see. Like I found a Wolfman card from like 1961. Like
they had a buck or two. They had early Disney stuff too in there in the boxes, like 50s Disney, and
I missed that.
I looked up a couple and I was like surprised that they weren't as valuable as I thought they would be, but still super interesting stuff, fun to look through.
Yeah, there's just stuff you just don't normally see. So I would say going to the National, is it worth digging through the bargain boxes? It's worth going there because one is for the education. You're going to learn a lot about stuff that you probably didn't know about. Number two, there is so much volume there that, yes, you have to go multiple days, though, for them to make it worth your while. So I think at the end of the day, it is. Now,
especially if you're traveling. If you're traveling, get an extra day or two in the hotel, buy the extra tickets, make it worth your while.
Yeah, get the VIP, skip the line, guys. Pay the extra $100 because the line was wrapped around the building, and we had media passes, so we didn't have to wait in line.
Hey, it's Camden.
Hey, little man. We didn't have to pay for the tickets, so that was also huge for us too. So I would say on that aspect, for us it was extremely valuable because one, we made contacts, we made a lot of content from there. But also too is like, it's not just about going to National to just find things to flip. Just taking in the experience is worth its weight in gold. Like if I went there and didn't buy one thing, I could literally walk around there. It would take me 2 to 3 days to see every single table, to fully check out what they have, and before I even bought anything. And
did you even go down the trap door to the secret room?
Which one? The one that you guys went in?
You had to get on the slide. And go down the tube?
Yeah. Nope. Didn't find that one.
We're going to talk about upstairs?
Yeah, that's what I was going to go next. The trap door to go upstairs. So, all right, I will give a full disclosure here. And the reason why I think the room is set up, but for those who don't know, when you walked upstairs, the table had maybe like a 3-foot walkway between each row.
I don't even think it was that wide.
And you couldn't even move going down that row. And it was everyone who was buying modern cards, and they were selling modern cards. It wasn't anything vintage.
They weren't buying our modern cards.
No, they weren't buying any of our modern cards at that point. But a lot of people complained that it was all roped up, and then you just saw all this empty space around there. And from a standpoint of setting up events and stuff like that, you rent certain areas of the building. So I'm assuming they probably just rented that small area. They weren't allowed to set up in those other areas because it would have cost them an X amount of dollars more. But it was I will tell you this, it made me not, after going up there 1 or 2 times, I did not go back up there the rest of the shows.
I went once. That was it.
Yeah.
I will say this, it's probably not worth your time to go to the National if you only have downtowns and uptowns and that's all you want, kabooms. Because you would go there, right, and you would sell them at, what, $85, $90 if you're lucky, and then you get that money, but then you got to buy more downtowns, right, because that's what you sell. And then you got to pay 100%. So you're going to lose money. I don't understand that business model. It's crazy
how people do that. This other thing, too, is that, like, another thing is, just because their sign says buying and there's a line of people to sell their cards, doesn't mean they're buying.
Oh, man. Can we
just
talk
so
about
you guys
the
are well aware,
lines?
do not waste your time standing in line trying to
There
sell
was a
your
lot of
cards
lines to sell
douchebag.
to people who do content, and like great people like Talon, who's my dude. He's a wonderful guy. Like in real life, such a nice guy, but like just guys go look through boxes and sell at smaller places. So you're just, it's not worth, I mean, maybe it'd be fun to do a video with people that you watch, but I don't know if it's worth it for you.
I would say a lot of people that were buying for repacks, and they were only looking for super liquid things. They were looking for Jordan, LeBron, Kobe in basketball, Wemby, or they're looking for downtowns, uptowns, kabooms, RPAs, but like nothing else though.
Is this like a hot take? But that is like the most boring thing to do. Just might as well just get a job at that point. Like, you know what I mean? Like get a normal job. If that's all you're doing, like there's no, this is the collector in me, even though I'm a flipper basically now. Yeah. It's like there's no joy in just doing that over and over. Maybe they find joy in it and they're just different. They have a different thought process than me. There's nothing wrong with that.
You don't have joy in making money?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's just very boring.
Yeah.
What
about the overpriced Topps products to get your silver pack?
Oh yeah, that was annoying. Right, talk about it.
No, but I was saying, full disclosure here. You know, all three of us loved the National. We were given a high praise.
We did love the National.
I'm going to say that's I'm going to start that.
We're just teasing some people.
No, we're not teasing. What we're talking about is we're just nitpicking things that we didn't like, or maybe things that could be adjusted, because nothing's 100% perfect in here. But I would say it was an absolute blast. And if literally went to National next year, I think all of us can agree that if they didn't change anything, we still would have so much fun. We would be there from
100%.
Now, you had to buy products. So what Topps does is Topps doesn't distribute product. They would allow you to go to one of their one of the higher end distributors that probably do a ton of volume to them, and you buy a box, or like for example, you buy a box of Bowman U football from them, or you buy a box of Series 2 Topps baseball, and you buy it in X amount of dollars, and then you get a free pack of cards with it. Well, what was happening though is they would raising the price of these boxes. Like for example, like Series 2 baseball was $200 a box, where you can go online and buy it for $130 or $150. And unfortunately, then you're just paying an extra $50 to $70 for this repack, and not this repack, for this bonus pack. You know what I mean? Like, and I know like Cary was upset about it because he wanted to buy some products, and unfortunately, you didn't buy any of those, did you?
No, I didn't. I will say this: I didn't realize the Bowman U, like the silver pack stuff, was going to have like a new design and everything. I don't know why I didn't realize that. If I knew that, I probably would have. And looking at the market a little bit here as well, and I wasn't, to be fair, fully aware of the market until I just checked just now. It seems like the boxes are a little pricier than when we bought them in November.
Oh, where they go?
Yeah,
for
like
now?
you could still get one for about 150 if you're looking shipped, 153. Okay. But I mean, some people are selling them. 160 seems to be about the average price, and they were at 200, like initially, and then they lowered it down to 175. So it did feel. And I could be wrong, and this is alleged, I guess. Not really. This is what I feel. That they baked kind of some of that pack price into the boxes they were selling, like asking extra because they knew you were getting a silver pack. That's what it felt like.
Well, Series 2 baseball, if you look at the last comps for a hobby box.
So I'm talking about football. Baseball's probably different.
These are the ones that sold out every day. The first 2 days I walked over there, they were already sold out, because they only released an X amount of packs. But I mean, you're getting boxes right now online on eBay for $125. You're getting boxes for $140, $130, $125. Like, so this one was $200. So that one I felt like the price was raised up. But also too, I don't know how valuable that bonus pack was. If it was, because like I said, I was turned off but I also, full disclosure, I bought on the pre-sale when I paid $89 a box, directly from Topps. And over time those boxes do go up in value. And so I think that was a slight turnoff for me right in the beginning. But just like Cary, I fully didn't know what was in those packs and everything else. But I was kind of turned off because one day there was 200. Next day, one day they crossed out the price and 175. So I felt like they were trying to raise the price just to get the people to buy.
I did go back on Sunday for the second year in a row to get my Panini box and my pack, which last year worked out super well for me. Super profitable on that one with the Caitlin Clark 1/1. So I found the cheapest thing I could get again, basically. That seemed interesting. But it was a hobby box this time. Last time I paid like $90 for a mega box. This time I paid $75 for a Hobby International Don Russ basketball, I think, where they're all red.
Pronounced Don Russ, by the way.
Yeah, Don Russ.
They're brothers.
And then I got that pack and I opened it and I got a Charlie Condon to 99. No 1/1, unfortunately, this year. But in the box, I got a numbered to 10 Jeremy Lin auto, which I sold for like 125 immediately. So I made a profit right away on that little endeavor, plus my content. So,
but you did pull a 1/1 this year.
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, at Leaf. Sorry, I did pull a Leaf 1/1. Yeah, Ozzie Smith 1/1 autograph out of. We got like 3 packs or so of those, and then we did a pack battle, and I won, so I got the rest of the packs. But that was the first pack I opened of that Leaf National stuff, and it was a 1/1 Ozzie Smith autograph. So
you are now officially 2 for 2 at the National, getting 1/1s. So now, granted,
we opened 7 or 8 packs, and that was the only, or I don't know how many, maybe it was 7 packs, and that was the only 1/1 I saw out of the packs.
No, you opened 4, I opened 4, Tim, so that's 12, and then CJ opened 1. That's 13 packs we opened. Tim
got a 1/1 out of his On It box, out of his Elite box. Didn't he get a 1/1?
No, you got a case hit, he said. Is that a 10?
No, when we were at Jimmy's house.
Oh, Jimmy's house? Did you, Tim?
I don't know. I have to double check.
He has to double check. He's away from his microphone. Did. He did. Oh, okay. Tim, he's looking through his stuff right now. But all right, so
there's so many cards.
I know we had over 1,000 cards stuff. I mean, I honestly, I don't know about you guys. When I got home, like I was so happy to be home, but yet I was so depressed because I was like, it was just such an amazing moment there. Like it was, I don't know. I just. Taking in the whole experience there, and I had a crazy day. I will tell you that. Like, if you guys, I just dropped a video on YouTube, picking punching cards. Go watch it. The craziest day I've ever had in sports cards. Was it a 1/1?
A 1/1.
Yeah, he did get a 101. All right, so now Tim can't complain that he's never going to 101. So there you go, buddy. You finally got one. So, but I was saying like I had a crazy day where I literally opened up packs with Tony Schiavone from the WCW announcer, AEW announcer, and then opened up packs with Gary V. And then the stuff they pulled was incredible. So it's just that. And then, dude, Tom Brady was there. Bo Jackson was at the event. Dennis Rodman. I saw Flavor Flav. Like, he was on stage with Bo Jackson at the Battle Arena. Like, it was just an overall cool experience, man. But Tim, what was your biggest takeaway, would you say, from the whole event, man? I mean, there's a lot to go through. My biggest
takeaway is it's interesting, because Rod's like, I would do so many things different, right?
Yes,
like that's one of the things you talked to us about.
Yeah.
And like this being my third time, I'd still say the same thing when I leave every national. Like you're never going to be fully prepared. And like obviously it's difficult because you can only do with what's been thrown to you, right?
100%.
Like I have no control. I can't be like, hey, bring me more Bowman U football bargain boxes. I can go on Twitter and Instagram and make a rant about it and tell people like that's what we want to see.
Well, why don't you think the audience what you're actually talking about with this, because this is something that we were all very upset about during the show.
There was not a lot of college football on the floor. Not a lot of college football on the floor. I was literally like looking forward, thinking that there was going to be a ton of college football on the floor, and that was going to be something that I was going to buy a lot of because we're literally 2 weeks away from the season opener. My Notre Dame Fighting Irish going up against University of Miami August 31st. You ready for that, Camden?
The real you,
Notre Dame game,
Gary.
bud.
They're taking on the real you. Remember that. That's how you're going to say it.
Yeah, the real you. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that wasn't there, and it just the year before last year's national, I cleaned up on football cards and basketball cards, and this year, like, there just weren't there.
It's what I would call the gabification of the college football card market. People are
not even just college football, regular football too. Just like the stark difference in what weird. I was finding in bargain boxes last year to this year is night and day.
So
volume-wise on those sports.
All right, so I have a theory, and I'll keep it to myself for a second, but why do you guys think that's the case this year? Why didn't we see a big demand for football? Why didn't we see a lot of football products there? Was there a specific reason? Like,
I just think that people are starting to get aware of the discrepancy in the value gap between the high end and the low end is so drastic in football. Like, we talk about this all the time. Like, the defensive rookie of the year Silver Prism rookie card is $2.
Yeah.
What's the Jaden Daniels Silver Prism? $250 raw. So you're looking at a $248 gap between two rookie of the years, right? So it's like,
where baseball you would have a closer gap between those at least.
You have a closer gap and you have a wider variety pool of talent. Where like in football, it's like a wide receiver outside of Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. What about the other top 8 wide receivers? Their value is nowhere near the top 2 wide receivers, yet alone anywhere near the top quarterbacks. So it's like I think that has something to do with it. I just think that the gap is widening in those sports, and it makes it less attracted to people to rip, which means that in order for you to have bargain boxes, you need people to rip product. Hobby and retail. Like, you've been in a bargain box before, and you could tell this person has ripped an absolutely insane amount of retail, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you have to have people that rip both level hobby and retail, and that's what fills bargain boxes, in my opinion. Or people who get into breaks and they just throw their break cards that aren't
and when you get those hobby products that have the guaranteed autos. Once again, it feels like, I haven't opened a lot of them, but if I were to go to the store right now and pick out a box, I'm probably getting a Braylon Allen auto. You know what I mean? I'm probably getting a Blake Corum. Yeah, Blake Corum. Like, I'm at the point where I could be walking down the street and I might just find one on the ground, like a $2 bill. Because there's so many. It feels
why is he in every product we re-rip? Like, I don't understand. Like, he's him or Jonathan
Blake Corum went to Michigan. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be anything in the. But yeah, there's a lot of that, and I really don't, especially with Topps has done a lot of this. I really don't like the mass of, and I love 80s and 90s guys, but the mass of like like, I don't even know if they're fan favorites. They're not even like Hall of Famers. They're just random dudes. Like, I'm trying to think of one. Yeah, like get like I don't know.
Bryant Westbrook.
Yeah, like, Bryant Westbrook. You're gonna
no
get
Topps Chrome baseball. Every time I talk, the baby jumps. No new Topps Chrome baseball on the floor either.
Yeah, that was one thing.
And it had been out for like a good week, 2 weeks before National, right?
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of it. I mean, a couple of the stands, the bigger distributors had some there, but other than that, like,
well, not even just like the product, but like singles.
Yeah, no singles.
But the National, just like any other card show, teaches you, like, if you are a bargain boxer, you need to take what's given to you. You're 100% right on that. I can't tell you how many times I go to a show and I'm like, I'm hyped up for football right now. I'm hyped up for baseball, and I get there. And, you know, I guess a bad show, I'm just getting nothing but, like, USA track and field cards. But on a good show, it's like, okay, they don't have that, but they got a lot of baseball that's good today. Or they've got a lot of football, but I'm looking for baseball. You kind of got to go with what the flow is, and it pays off to be curious. If you're out of your lane a little bit, look cards up, take your time, spend a couple hours, and find the gems.
So let me ask you this. Because the NFL draft class this year for quarterbacks is so weak, and the price has really been dictated by QBs.
Wait. What are we talking about?
The NFL, the draft class this year for QBs was very weak.
Was it?
Compared to previous years.
Was it, though?
Absolutely. Compared to previous years.
It wasn't Will Levis, who was drafted in the Will Levis
there's no
class.
Kenny Pickett in this class, but come on.
But they had a lot more hype, at least, with those guys.
No, it's a hype thing. I think it is.
Yes,
I felt like last year there wasn't as much hype for Jaden either, and then he proved it on the I was going to say court, but it's a field they play on, correct?
You know, there's a lot of hype. I mean, you had Drake May, you had Jaden Daniels.
I don't feel like there was hype for those guys, though.
JJ.
Bo Nix, I think, he was injured pretty quickly.
Bro, you had 5 quarterbacks go in the first.
And Bo Nix, people were saying he was 29 years old or whatever, and he wasn't going to do anything, and he played really well. I feel like the QB class proved people wrong last year pretty quickly. But like going into the season, there was hype, but I don't feel like there was as much hype as there was.
But like
later
the
on
only product that was out, licensed before National was Score.
Correct. Yeah. So there wasn't a lot of product out there. So that was actually going to be my second point. Well, going back to my original point was, there's no hype around Cam Ward, like compared to Caleb Williams.
Crazy.
What's up?
Yeah,
it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. You think he was the one drafted in the 5th round?
Correct.
What do you think? What is a Cam Ward Score auto selling for in comparison to Shedeur Sanders?
That's a great question.
Probably about the same, I bet.
I'll look it up right now and take a look at
that. What would a Cam Ward sell for? $80 base auto?
Or even like Tyler Show. What's his stuff selling for? He looks awful.
Yeah. So but that's the point I'm getting at. Is so let's see here, Cam Ward
Score auto. Just give me the base auto.
Yeah, Cam Ward Score auto. There isn't any. Why is there no comps? That's not weird.
Does he not have a Score base auto? Maybe, I don't even know. I think
he might not be.
You know what? I don't think he has one. I think he signed a deal with Fanatics. I think maybe. So that's another issue, because some of these quarterbacks signed with Panini, some have signed exclusive deals with Topps or Fanatics. So that's also. So I think that the market's kind of getting torn apart there. But also too is we don't have licensed product. Like, we don't have Topps. So is Topps dictating the entire marketplace? Because if you look at baseball, Topps has been the tradition for the last 75, 80 years, whatever it is, compared to like football and stuff like that. We had football, we had basketball. They kind of go back and forth. But are we going to start seeing a shift?
More of a tradition. Topps has more of a tradition with football than Panini does.
But because the National is based off the same dealers that come every single year, it's based off what's the word I'm looking for? Amount of tenure. You've been there, so that's the dealers. They get first dibs and they work their way down. So people that have been trying to get in the National for years still haven't been able to get in, and a lot of those are going to be traditionalists for Topps and stuff like that. Do you think that had to maybe a fact plan for this National?
This is an interesting thing to look forward to moving forward, just relatable to what you're just asking. So National has like they're in a funny space right now, gap-wise. Okay?
I agree.
So you have all the old people who bring all the awesome like museum stuff and cool pieces to look at. the vintage people, and then the people who are kind of like a weird booth where they're selling like 90s like junk wax and like random autos of like people.
What's
for,
the
like,
deal with the amount of
$20?
people, sidetrack, and I know I'm doing this a lot. What's the deal with the people at the National putting cards in rubber bands? At the National,
They've been
this
doing
isn't
it.
like a.
They've been doing
This is not
it
a
for-
flea market in the middle of nowhere.
Bro, they've been doing this since 1952, bro. That's how they kept their mantles, all right?
Jeez,
That's how they kept their
They would
mantles,
know
bro.
better.
You know, they took them from the bike spokes, they put them in rubber bands, and that's how they stayed them for years, all right?
That was the top loader of the 1950s, just a rubber band.
And then outside of that, you have like the new age people who only have like $20,000 cards and are buying kabooms and national treasures and stuff like that, and that's their booth. There is a I'm starting to be a little bit concerned of where are the middle people.
I agree.
The people who are putting good quality cards in bargain boxes and have one showcase. Right?
I feel like they're
those
everywhere
people.
at local card shows. I think that's most people.
So
at a local
National's
show.
going to have to find a way to, because the last thing you want to do is phase out the museum aspect of National, because you can tell just by watching Rod's videos and looking at the comments how many people that is enticing and attracting to.
Yep.
So you don't want to phase them completely out and then only welcome in this new breed of repacking and high-end only aspects, because what fuels the hobby to this day are people like us. We fuel the hobby. I don't care what anybody says about breaking and repacking and all that stuff. What we do is the core of the hobby.
And why
People
is that,
buying middle-end cards is what fuels the hobby, because not everybody can afford the high-end stuff. Not everybody can buy boxes, and nobody wants base cards, right?
But who else are you selling to, though?
We're selling to collectors.
Bingo.
or flippers.
Yeah. Well, a lot of
So
collectors,
we
though.
fuel the hobby, not the breakers, not whatnot, not, the high-end $20,000 Jordan rookies, not the PSAs. What bargain boxers is the heart and soul of the hobby.
Yeah. That's why you have $15, $20 cards on eBay a lot of times.
So here's the interesting thing I learned about the National, because I've been doing a ton of research getting back, because I was concerned just like you were, Tim, and going through the whole process. So one is the National is built by a committee. It's a nonprofit, right? So it's not, like you have all these other shows that building, they have a promoter who makes a profit off the shows. This is put on by the dealers for the dealers. So number one is based off tenure, how long you've been there, you get it. So that's why when we first walked in that front door, we walked through an entire vintage, like walking through a museum. I didn't realize that until I got home. I'm like, oh, you know what? That made total sense, because these are dealers that have been there for 40, 50 years. They get first dibs on those tables. So just by the natural selection of how long you've been at the show had a flow to it, where you went from like a vintage area, and then you walked, like Tim said, like 80s, 90s, that type of era, and then you walked over to like a corporate area. You had a break area, and then like where like Keith Vintage Sports Flips was, you had like a mixture of like cards, but mixture of like some like modern stuff, some vintage stuff, and then upstairs with all your modern stuff, because the people on the second floor were all the new vendors coming in. So I was listening to the Hobby Nonsense, and they were talking about like one of the concerns for them is they didn't see any like Marvel, Disney, Pokemon cards that pretty much anywhere in the.
Well, the Pokemon,
I mean, there were some.
I can understand, like
because it's a sports card show. But get it,
it's a sports card. It's a sports collectors convention. That's what it is.
100%.
We don't need Pokemon taking that over. Please.
But here's the thing: is
save that for the collecticons.
But why not have some of that there? Because now, if someone brings their children there, now it's something for their children to look at, and there's something for the other people to look at.
The children should be looking at the base cards. Okay, I'm listen. I'm not an anti-Pokemon guy. You know that.
Yeah,
but
I know that.
There's no card show. I have no problem with it. Just let me know in advance before I get there, and I get there and there's 75 tables Pokemon. Yeah, 25 tables cards.
And that's a growing issue with local card shows. Is like it feels like a lot of the mid-sized local card shows, every show are getting a little bit more Pokemon heavy, and it makes sense. There's a lot of people selling it and a lot of interest. I understand it, but yeah, that's one nice thing about the National. Although I wouldn't mind them having some Pokemon there. I feel like once you let Pokemon in there, you're gonna get the Pokemon wing. Yeah, no, like, but it didn't. There wasn't like dedicated. I felt like Pokemon tables. There were, some Pokemon stuff in boxes, some in showcases, but that wasn't the main part of their booth.
And I think Jeff Wilson made a really good point. He's like, because the National hasn't been letting a lot of these new dealers, and they've been trying to get in for something. They had
You're
to start
a huge Jeff Wilson fan, so I'm glad we're hearing this from you.
They had to start their own soccer show. You know what I mean? Like they literally, those soccer dealers. There's no soccer, barely any soccer on that entire floor. When you walk through there.
SoCo show, by the way, guys.
Shout out my guy Pretzel, my man Matt. He is one of the biggest soccer dealers at that show. Great guy.
SoCo show is legit. If you guys go to National next year, this is me and Tim's went 2 years in a row. First year.
That's one of the best things that we've done. I stand by that. That show, I fell into a rabbit hole of vintage soccer. Like I was.
Every time I leave, I'm like, I'm getting back into soccer. I like soccer, and So
the biggest takeaway for me is, first off, I'm not a soccer guy, right? So when you guys say you want to go, I was like, I'm always down to go for the experience and check it out. But I will say, so it was in an indoor soccer arena. One of the best things was all the tables were set up on AstroTurf. After walking on hard concrete floor for 8 hours straight, man, I felt like I was walking on a cloud. So that was one of my, that was absolutely amazing for me. Yeah. Number two, because of soccer, a lot of it was Panini. Panini made all those vintage cards back in the day. So Tim was at a table. Tim went down this rabbit hole at this table looking through all the vintage. There's boxing, there's vintage soccer, there's vintage entertainment. There's tons of stuff like that. I left him at the table because he went down this rabbit hole and he was just talking his little head off over there, and I just walked around. So that part was super cool. And then anytime I find a show like that, I'm going to find the people that are non-soccer people and then try to, we talked about the baseball. And I found a guy who sold wrestling. I got a box of AAA from Mexico, Lucha Libre wrestling cards from 2019, which was freaking awesome, by the way, to do that. But me and Tim had the similar experience. There's multiple rooms to walk in. And so, Tim, what do you think when you walked in the backside of this convention, backside of this place?
Soccer show. First of all, we had to go through metal detectors. Shout out to the two guys working security. They were hilarious. So every time I walked by, they were like, and then outside you had the Green Street hooligans, where all
soccer hooligans,
the English people were hanging out, and
with
then
2x4s with nails sticking out of them, and they're just sitting there
you walk out the back like Peaky Blinders in the front, and then you walk to the back, and there's a Mexican restaurant, and there's a guy next to the Mexican restaurant with a spotlight cutting somebody's hair, and there's armed guards everywhere throughout the complex. It was a very interesting setup, but it was perfect, fantastic. I had so much fun going to that show, and everybody there is soccer can be very intimidating.
Yeah.
And I think that is a prime example of what the rest of the hobby needs. My baby is literally falling asleep right now.
I'm falling asleep too listening to you talk, so I don't blame him.
The soccer, the rest of the hobby should take notes of what the soccer community is doing, because it can be very gatekeepy sometimes. And I realize that trying to sell my David Wright card. They're looking at me like my card is a 1987 Topps, Greg Jeffries or whatever, right?
Or maybe a 1987 Topps, Rance Mullenix. Is that how do you say his name?
I don't know.
Or maybe a 1987 Topps Jose Rio.
Ugh.
Is he in that?
So that's what it looks like. That's what people make you feel like. And I experienced that once before when I was trying to sell my Justin Herbert autograph rookie card number 5, but because he was in an Oregon Ducks uniform, nobody wanted to touch it with a 10-foot pole, right? And so in the soccer community, I didn't get that. You don't get that feeling going to that show at all. People are very open to.
Everybody was super friendly. I could talk about the fact I was a noob, and they were cool about it.
And
so I think that's a little interesting too.
Yeah, you made a contact. We're gonna get some two of the guys on here in the future for a future episode and stuff.
Yep.
But I will say there's no reason why that. So the whole point of the story is there's no reason why that soccer expo should even exist, because those people deserve to be at the National. They would open up so many doors for new soccer fans and people to go through, and they should be there. 100%. Like, I don't know, Cary, what are your thoughts? You think they should? You think?
Yeah, I mean, they should have space for them at the National, but the way they have it set up right now, I love. I love that it's like a trade night kind of thing. Like we go after the National and go check it out. So I think, I don't know how they feel. Maybe they really would prefer to be at the National, but I think they've created something really cool, and it's only going to grow. It's only going to grow, I think, and they've got something of their own that, being the week of the National, they're going to get a lot of new people coming through there. So
I think you made a lot of good points. My only takeaway from that is how much money are they losing not being able to be part of the National? Could they potentially be making 5 times more money because
they're making a brand? They're making a brand for themselves though too. Yeah, so there's some value in that. And I don't know what they're losing not being at the National. There's even an argument that you could be set up at the National, and then, I mean, I guess it would be kind of a hassle and also do those shows at night, doing them both. But I think they've done about as much as you can do in the situation they're in to create a cool environment. I mean, that was a perfect spot. It made sense. Like, I wouldn't have necessarily thought of that kind of a spot for a card show, even though looking at it afterwards going, yeah, that's logical. That made perfect sense where they put it. There was people, I think, trying to shoot balls at the net and everything. There was a little area, so it was kind of dope.
It was cool walking from room to room, and I'm walking through a goalie net to get to the next row of tables in there and stuff like that. But all right, Tim, you got any final words for? I think with time we talked enough about the bargain boxes for today. We'll continue this next week, but you got any final words for us?
Basketball cards are dead. I need answers about Bowman U football, why I wasn't at National. I mean, no. Final words was it was everything that I had been waiting for and then some. Like, even though me, Rod, and Cary are all very similar, we're all very different.
Very different. Yep.
And we all did our own thing, and we all did everything together at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was a moment in like our relationship and what we're building here, not just on the podcast but our friendships, that like will be a moment that we'll talk about 30-40 years down the road. And like Cary said this when we were talking about it, it's like the experience of National is like nothing that you'll experience anywhere else. And it doesn't matter who you are, what you're looking for, where you're coming from, you have an opportunity to get an experience. And a lot of people will try their best to talk negative about the National. What we talk about and how we talk about it, we're not trying to shed a negative light on it. We're just talking about our own experience and things that, like, if we had a dream scenario, this would be like this and that would be like that, right? But that doesn't take away what from National is. There's people are going to complain about things no matter what. That's just how the world is. But it's not a stinky sweat box of overpriced cards that everybody wants you to make it out to be like. It was very comfortable. There were not a lot of stinky people. I maybe ran into one stinky person. And, there was tons of affordable cards because I'm a cheap ass and I came home with a 4-row box.
That's based on a true story. So,
yeah,
that's my thoughts. I mean, I feel like that. I think I put
you're 100% right because, like, as much as I'm teasing the breaker area just because it's funny, I didn't really hang out there and there was plenty to do. So, like, and maybe if I hung out there, I wouldn't be joking about it. Maybe there was some stuff that I missed.
You were there about it. You were there.
I mean, I was walking through it.
You were part of it the year before. You sold cards on the breaker area.
No, well, that's I mean, like, breaking.
It was different last year than it was this year.
Okay.
Yeah, and also like doing a live break is one thing. What I'm saying more is like having, like, they could have just been breaking anyway. I don't know why they needed a section for it. Is more, and I was more joking about it. But like, I didn't hang out there, and it was no big deal. Like that they had it. I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed it. But there was, coming around full circle is the National is what you make it. Like we went as three amigos and Dawn, my girlfriend. We were all there. We had a great time. And some would say the best bargain box or the best table at all was the bargain box or the table of friendship. And how that grew. That. I don't know if that
big
makes
shout
sense.
out to our guy. We got to give a shout out to our guy who hung out with us at trade night.
Oh, yeah, Sean.
I don't know if
our
you're
new
watching,
buddy.
Sean.
We made a lot of new buddies out there. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. That's a good point. Thanks to everybody who came up to us, who whispered creepily, seductively, weirdly, no bangers. I don't think one person did it to me, and it kind of hurt my feelings, but I know Tim got it quite a few times. But we had a lot of people
Rod
come
did
up and
no
say
bangers on 3 in the. I got it on tape.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a lot of people come up, talk about the podcast, talk about our individual.
Who says that?
Yeah, it's old people, Tim. We're old. No, we had a lot of people come up. It was a great time. And honestly, the National was like it was last year. It was magical, had so much fun. You know, we're nitpicking on some stuff, like you said, Tim, but it was overall just a great show. We had a great time, and we appreciate, being able to go there, and we'll be back next year.
You guys hit the nail on the head with a lot of things you just said. I mean, the fact that we went through together as a crew, and being Tim's third, Cary's second, my first, we were all like almost virgins walking in there to the National because it was a brand new place. We got to experience it together. We got to, find new things that each of us liked. Like Tim said, like we're very similar but very different, the same thing. So that was really cool. I will say
we got to explore. As virgins, we explored
yes,
the body of the floor and really found what made us tick.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I would say
I opened with poop and Cary closed with virgin on the floor.
I would say whatever budget you guys bring to the National, please double it because you will find.
Yeah, that's true.
And I would say, I mean, at the end of the day, like
I stayed under budget though.
Yeah, you did. But I would say there's a lot of things you'll find that you never saw or you want to purchase. And honestly, your only opportunity may be that time to buy it. So, I will say, and I made the mistake a couple times, I learned this lesson the hard way. If you find something there that you want, you should buy. But the best thing was just experiencing the whole event, like taking in, like Tim and Cary talked about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I saw videos on that last year. I was so excited to see there. And I didn't get to the table because it sold out by the time I was able to even get there. And the National was so big, so much stuff going on that my whole plan went out the window when I got there. And that's a good thing because that means that there's so much new, exciting things from there. And yes, we talk about construction criticism, what they can do better. But at the end of the day, that's just a small speck on the scope of how big and how great the place was. And, we talk about things we would do differently. And we have a great game plan for next year, what we want to do. I'm sure that's going to go out the window as well, just because that's what happens. But I mean, I truly, look at that. You got a big hat in the background. I just truly enjoyed the whole experience. And I am very thankful that I was part of with you guys. And we have to give a shout out to our members before we leave, because,
did we get any new members?
We did not. But, do you remember the 7 members we have right now? The elite crew?
We have 7 top tier members.
We have
Frank the Tank. Shout out my boy the Tank.
He's a bargain boxer. He's a bargain boxer. All right.
Dusty Box Treasures.
He's the elite of the elite.
He's buying the cases. I love it.
I'm
just repeating Tim because I hope Tim knows them.
Okay.
Ginger King Card Kingdom.
Yeah.
He's buying the cases as well. He's
also buying cases.
Top.
Respect to him.
Oh, we got it, Rod. You got to say this one because you got to say it right. California
Sports
City.
Cards. Lodi Sports Card. Here we go. He's a value boxer. All right, we got 3 more. You guys
3
remember?
more.
This guy doesn't do anything right.
Marquise Grissom, if we're lucky. I'd love Marquise to be a member.
Jeff Wilson's a member?
Left Coast Pickers. Left Coast Pickers. He's a bargain boxer.
Shout out Left Coast Pickers.
Roth Cards. Is Roth Cards a member yet?
Allegedly. Yep, allegedly. He bought all the cases and left. So
there we go.
Allegedly. We have
sell them to the owner of the Capitals, maybe.
A Jordan Brown. He's
valuable. Oh, yeah. The numbers
shout out Jordan.
And then
Jordan?
What's the last one that you always say? Todd?
Carteau.
There we go.
Van Poppel?
Van Poppel, yes, him too as well. And then we also have Benny the Jet. He was allegedly was a member of it.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember any other guys?
The Great Hambino. The Great Hambino. Is he in there?
Okay.
Smalls.
Tim, there we go. All right. Well, I think that's it. And Tim, I guess you know what to do.
Don't forget to join us on www.dibditcards.com tonight because we are going to have Gary V rocking and rolling with us. We got Commonwealth Picker, who some say may be even more famous and more rich than Gary V. He's going to kick off the evening, and then he's our.
If you ever go to a backwoods garage sale and you say Commonwealth Picker, you'll know how famous he is.
Yeah.
Then after that, Rod and Gary V will be on, and then after that, me and Cary will be on. So we've got a great night of no bangers.
I'll be back on again.
And then Rod's back on again, chasing some Arch Manning autographs in 2025 score. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, everybody
put your
hands
in, folks.
in. No bangers on 3. 1, 2, 3. No
No
bangers!
bangers!